Hey guys, welcome back to our channel here. I can show you Wrigley is back. She's on the ground. I'm just filming an intro to this video. Today's video is going to be Halloween themed. So not like technically themed, I don't have like crazy decorations in the background, but talking about what to do with Halloween everything, with decorations around your neighborhood, what to do when kids come up to your door with your dog specifically. Kids and costumes, the two of them combined can be a really scary thing for a lot of dogs. It can be a really bad situation if we're not careful about it. So I wanted to just put a video out there showing you guys, if you take your dog around the neighborhood, what you guys can do to help your dog get over any fear, or if you have a young puppy, what steps you can take to make sure that they have positive feelings towards weird and scary decorations, especially those like motorized ones that look like they literally move on their own to a lot of dogs. Those can be especially scary. So just showing you guys how I would approach working around that situation with decorations. And then with kids coming to your door, I'm going to show you guys how I would manage my space that I have here. It's a lot about management. You can incorporate some training aspects into it. From the time that I'm going to be posting this video, you guys won't have a whole lot of time to train a bunch of new behaviors, but management is going to come into huge play when it comes to Halloween stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Wrigley is here. She's thrilled about making this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave comments down below if you have questions. Make sure to subscribe before you leave and like this video if you'd like to see more like this. I'll see you guys in a minute. As I mentioned before, decorations can be really scary for dogs. There's ones that move, there's ones that make noise, there's ones that just look scary even to us as people. So you can imagine what your dog thinks about those. You actually don't need to get close to these things to show your dog that they're not scary things. That is going to be a huge point of this video. You don't need to force your dog into any situation that they're potentially going to be afraid of, or they already are afraid of. Okay, so for example, I'm afraid of spiders. If someone were to come along and be like, I'm gonna help you get over your fear of spiders by locking you in a room full of spiders, and then I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back later on and see how you're doing. Okay, I'm now in that room full of spiders. I'm either gonna shut down or black out that entire situation. That is not gonna help me get over that situation. That example is in the dog training world what's called flooding. You don't need to remember that at all. But flooding would be the equivalent if your dog is already afraid of the decorations, taking them fully into the yard, going right up to the one that goes, ah, in their face, and making them experience that. They're on leash, you're forcing them to stay there. That would be like locking me in a room full of spiders. It probably is gonna either shut your dog down or make them more afraid of the thing later on. Here we've got Jordan working with her dog Atlas with this black pumpkin off in the distance. Atlas actually knows a go check it out cue, so he goes towards the thing and eventually goes up and touches the thing and then comes back for his click and treat. This is something that builds his confidence a lot in situations like this that you guys can actually also teach your dogs, but she's just demonstrating the initial steps of this. When he starts to wander over in that direction or look in that general direction, she's actually clicking and capturing that attention on the object, and Atlas is coming back for his treat. Now here we've got Desi and Hex. Hex is very confident in this spooky situation, looking over that kind of engage-disengage game that I've talked about here on my channel before, going to sniff things, investigate things. She's feeling very confident in this situation. Her body language is very calm and attentive and excited to be working with Desi here, which is all good things that we want to see. If your dog were a little bit more fearful, I would take them 20 or 30 yards away from this situation and work them at that distance. Again, you don't need to get right up close to these things. The only reason you guys are seeing this here is because Hex and Atlas both find this a fun game. And that's something that you guys can turn into a fun game with your dogs. So here's a good example of that. Back to Atlas working with the Halloween decoration off in the distance. Jordan is now cueing him to go check it out fully. He goes up, nose targets the little bag that the
decoration is holding, and he's doing so very confidently. This is a behavior he knows really well, and in this context is turning this situation that could be potentially scary for him into just a fun game that he can play. You could also be playing the Ready Find It game with your dog here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a game that directly involves the object at all. Your dog doesn't have to physically interact with it. Remember, Atlas and Hex were only doing so because they were very confident about it. This is something they have training experience with and makes them feel a lot better in the situation. But you do not have to have your dog directly interact with the object.
Okay, let's talk about kids coming to the door. So this, again, is something I don't know if that's going to be a thing that happens much this year with COVID going on. I don't know if kids are going to be going door to door. I don't have kids myself. I don't know what it's going to be like. But let's say that kids do come to your door. They're going to be dressed up, all cute in their little costumes, potentially scary for our dogs. A lot of dogs are fearful of kids because kids are unpredictable in your dog's eyes. They move really quickly, they scream, they make funny noises, all of which to your dog can be perceived as a potential threat. Now, obviously, we don't want your dog seeing children as a potential threat. I'm not going to go into that discussion here on my YouTube channel, but we can do a couple things to make sure that we're managing the situation. If your dog is fearful of children, if they're not fearful of children, all range of scopes to make sure that your dog is safe in the situation, the kids coming to the door are safe coming to your door. And making your dog feel much better about people actually coming to your door. If you guys haven't already, I would first go and watch my door desensitization video. I don't actually remember what I called it. I will link it down in the description below. That talks all about desensitizing your dog to the sound of the doorbell ringing or knocking, it's Wrigley in the background, or someone knocking on the door. I'd watch that first, go through those exercises, and then come back to this one. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of people ringing your doorbell and knocking on the door on Halloween night, so that would be a really good thing to prepare for in advance to Halloween night. Okay, so setting up for Halloween, something that you guys want to consider. Baby gates. Okay, baby gates or X pens. I'm gonna show you guys the ones that I have. Hi, are you gonna join? Yeah, this is nice. Can you come over here? You're blocking the camera. Yeah, go. There we go. Nice job. Okay, baby gates or X pens. I've got an X pen over there that I will show you guys how I would set it up in the space that I have. If you guys set those up back and away from the door, you don't want to set it up right next to the door, Okay, remember that kids can be scared of dogs just like dogs can be scared of kids. We want to put that back away from the door in case any fears are going on there. We want to back that up as much as possible. Again, distance is your friend. Back it up away from the door, and then behind that gate you want to set up a nice space for your dog. So you put your dog bed, you can put a stuffed Kong, a bully stick. Really good things go on the bed behind that gate. Throughout the couple days leading up to Halloween, what you guys can do is do some practice with you knock on the door, and then you take your dog past the gate, ask them to lie down on their dog bed, give them a click and a treat for that. You can turn it into a whole behavior. So we can show them that whenever a knock happens or the person rings the doorbell, we would actually like them to go behind the baby gate onto their bed. If you guys do this over and over and over again, it becomes what's called a behavior chain. So your dog will actually start to pattern these things together, like, oh, okay, knock on the door happens. Always, every single time my owner leads me over to my dog bed, I lie down behind the gate, I get a treat for that. So you guys can actually make this a behavior chain that your dog knows what is coming next. I would recommend repeating those steps over and over and over again the days leading up to Halloween, so then when it gets to Halloween, your dog has somewhat of an idea of what to do in that situation. Now, they're not going to have it down solid enough that you can probably just wait at the door and they're going to waltz right over to their dog bed and lie down. They're going to hear kids on the other side of the door. So I lead them over there each time when you guys are practicing this. The other thing that I would suggest is keeping treat stations around the house. So keep one Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk with her right here. She does not want to move. Treat stations. So you guys, I recommend Tupperware containers for this, and I recommend having a treat station in every room of the house, extra near your door. Place one, I'll show you guys again here in a second. Place one right next to your door. Again, high value food in there, so you have access right away, right at the door. Oh my God, you're standing on my leg. Come here. Come here. Oh goodies. Can you sit? Sit. Thank you. That's nice. I'd highly recommend placing one in every room of your house, especially right next to your door. Again, high value treats in those treat stations. Okay, so you have access, whatever room of the house that you are in, you have access to those treats, and you're able to get them out quickly. I would also keep a clicker in each one of those treat stations, so you have access to a clicker as well. You can also train your dog to understand the word yes means the same thing as the click. You just say, I'm not gonna say it right now because I don't have treats with me, okay, but you'd say the word yes in like a high-pitched, excited tone. That specific word turns into a marker cue for your dog. So if you're stuck without a clicker, the word yes in a very high-pitched, excited tone, again, that I'm not going to do it right now because I don't have treats on me, and she knows that very well, means the same thing as the click. So if you're stuck without a clicker, you can use that word instead. So you guys, a lot of Halloween is management. It's a lot of management. If you guys want to if you guys choose to take your dog completely out of the situation, that's even better. Having two people to help with passing out candy, one person is doing that and then the other one is working the dog. That is also a great option. If you're gonna take your dog out of the situation entirely, you can send him to another location entirely. But if you need to keep him in the house, you can put him in a separate bedroom, you can close the door, put them in a kennel with something to work on, stuffed Kong, bully stick, anything that's safe to leave with them that you know is gonna be safe to leave with them. And then turn something on, turn some loud music on or a movie or something to leave on to just drown out the sound of the doorbell, of the kids walking by in the background. That kind of stuff is gonna be really helpful for those options of just getting your dog out of the situation. I would recommend that if you have a dog that is fearful of children, I would not place them in that situation at all. That is just asking for something bad to happen. So if you're not working with them and they're left to their own devices, I would rather those dogs get out of the situation entirely. If you have a dog that is already fearful towards children, this might be something that you make just some extra safety precautions there behind the baby gate, also with a leash and a harness on, and you're sitting there working with them as kids come to the door, clicking and treating for the doorbell ringing, for kids coming up. Hey, you're looking at the kids nicely, good job, click treat, click treat, click treat. You don't even need to use the clicker for that one. It's just back to like classical conditioning, just making positive associations with the kids coming to the door. But for a lot of dogs that are already fearful of kids in that situation, that particular environment can be a lot for them to handle. So that might be a situation that you choose to just get your dog out of it entirely. If you guys have a dog that's a little bit more like Wrigley, Wrigley does not have any fear towards kids, but I have always and forever will treat and reward her for looking over at kids nicely, because I would like her to maintain that nice behavior of not having issues with kids. I like that. That's a very nice behavior to have. I want her to continue to have really positive associations with kids. So she's not fearful of kids, but I am going to be working with her if kids come to the door with back behind the baby gate. I maybe have a leash on her just for that extra safety precaution, just trying to reinforce that kids are not something that she needs to be afraid of, even if they come up to our door. This is my front door right over here. Again, excuse the mess. It is snowy outside. Got all the gear. So I have this set back and away from the door. So this area is secure. She can't enter this front little entrance or entryway right here at all. And I've got her dog bed set up right there. She's investigating the snuffle mat. I've got her dog bed set up right there with a bone and some puzzle toy activity to work on that she has already worked on. But I've got that set up so I can enter the little
zone right here. Anyone with a door would be handy for this. But I've got my little enclosed area, so she can't enter this area. I would caution anything placed near furniture. I know for a fact that Wrigley will not try to jump on the couch and then jump over this way, but I know a lot of dogs that would. So I can feel free to answer my front door. Yay, front door. And she's over there. So this is where I would keep a stash of treats in my little Tupperware. It's right next to the door. I can easily access it, and I've got treats ready to go. She's nicely on her place right there, but let's say she wasn't. Okay, I can kind of get her up. From back here, this is a good exercise to work on through a barrier. Go to place. Good girl. Working on this behavior with literally something in between you guys, and teaching her that it actually means the same thing as if I was on the other side. Yes. Nice job. Okay, and working on going to, yes, answer the front door. So there's that yes cue that, or marker, not cue, that I was talking to you guys about. I don't have a clicker on me right now, but I could be clicking and treating this all day. I mess with the handle. Yes. She gets a treat. Now, you might have to start smaller with your dog. Wrigley already knows this behavior really well. So starting with small increments, I will attach the link to how to train this behavior in the description below. But just lots of reinforcement for your dog being on their bed. You can tell them to stay. If they don't know, go to place means it has a built-in stay to it. You can definitely work on that. And then working with distractions is kind of what this video is all about. So having an X pen up or a baby gate in between you guys, messing with the front door, trying to knock on the door. Yes, nice job. Seeing if your dog can maintain that behavior. If not, if they can't, they get up, they start barking, minimize it. Make it a smaller thing that you're doing. Yes, good girl. Again, looking at my door desensitization video for more information on that. All done. Good job. Hitting her in the face with food. Okay, so that is what I would make the setup. Something that's set back away from your front entryway, your front door, setting up a place for your dog that you can cue your dog to go. So this is something that I kind of talked about earlier. Initially setting your dog up for success here is showing them where you want them to go when actual kids are coming to the door. So let's say that someone knocked on the door. I go all the way over here, go to place, drop treats on the bed directly where I want her to be. Good girl. You might even cue it down there too. You guys need to think about minimizing everything else that you're asking of your dog when there's a distraction added into it. So she might, all done. She might stand up, okay, while you guys are answering the door. Your dog might stand up, okay. What you can do at that point is while you're dealing with the kids, you are, good girl, you're literally, okay, I got a handful of treats, tossing your dog treats, kind of in that general direction behind the gate. So now your dog's working on those treats. You can feel free to answer the door, hand out the candy. This is where extra help comes in, where your helper could be treating your dog over here while you are dealing with the kids at the front door. So that's where a helper would be very handy. But that's what I would do if your dog breaks that stay, they get up from it. Okay, just take a handful of treats. We're not too worried about them maintaining the stay. That's a hard stay to do with a kid at the door, but just giving them something else to do. Handful of treats tossed in that general direction.
I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a, oh my god. Are you done? And I hope you guys have a good Halloween that is safe and a good time for everyone involved. I'll see you guys later. Bye, silly. Yeah. She won't leave me alone. Okay, can you get off? You're a crazy lady. Oh goodness.